Just a minute. Hello, everybody. I'm playing my intro. But it didn't set. There we go.
We had a dream many years ago to live life away from it all, to have some sheep, maybe a cow or two, with cats and dogs and goats and an occasional moon. With our love for God, we can't go wrong. Our love can only continue to grow strong. Doesn't matter the difficult roads, it's true. For we have each other and love will carry us through. We came from another time, a time when dreams were bold, another time when values took hold. Couldn't give up hope, for it was always there. Another time we fared to do.
Say hi. Hi. Wait.
We came from another time, a time when dreams were bold, another time when values took hold. You couldn't give up hope, for it was always there. Another time we fared.
I'm glad.
You couldn't give up hope, for it was always there. Another time we fared.
Put Todd in the tent with me and the kids and their feed. I'm at it again. And that big old boy was Jackson Brown. We loved him, and we're still loving on him a little bit. To get my drift. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hi, Jennifer Ocean Homestead. Hi, Jen. Hi, Robyn. Hi, Broke but Bountiful. Hi, Penny. Thank you so much for coming in. I truly, truly appreciate it. And tonight we have a special guest, Arielle, and I'm going to introduce her in a minute. But first, I want to make sure that if anyone, hi, Gail, hi, Carol, if anyone does decide they want to do a super chat or anything, it's going to be donated to Arielle's fund tonight for her trying to get back to America. To support Arielle, if you want to do a super chat, it will go to her. So you can either do it on her page or you can do it through mine, and I will be sure she receives it. So I wanted to let you know that. I'm all about helping my friends out and people that I think truly deserve it. Hi, Gail. Also, if you're not a member, I hope you consider, she listed her PayPal address on the chat as well. And I did have a banner. Let me see if I can get this going here. Show. There we go. There's her channel. So if you are not subscribed and you do want to support Arielle, please go over to her channel. Be sure you subscribe and look in the chat, and you will see towards the top of the chat, she has posted her PayPal account there, so you can support her that way. I'm excited. It's been a busy last couple of weeks. Many of you know that my mother passed away, and I'm going to be heading to Idaho to her funeral. And talk about a chore. You know, it's not like just hopping on a plane and going to a funeral when you have a farm, because you have to make sure that your animals are all taken care of. I handle all the back animals. My husband handles the front animals. And so he's not used to handling the back, and he can't always handle the back. I have all the dogs out back. I also take care of all of the 9 cats, the chickens, the ducks, the geese, and baby goat that's still on a bottle once a day, and mama and another baby goat. And so I have to make sure that's all squared away for my husband, and my daughter-in-law is going to be handling that, and my son, and I've been training them every day so they know what to do, when to feed, when to water, what to feed and what to water, and how to make a baby bottle and all of that. So it's been interesting. I've also been trying to make sure that if there's storms and stuff while I'm gone, that everything's in good condition and nothing's going to fall down and dogs aren't going to escape and all of that. Yeah, I know you enjoy those geese, Jennifer. They're so annoying. And she's been laying on eggs, so who knows? Maybe I'll get more geese. How fun! I bet, Granny. And yeah, so it's been a challenge. And then of course we have a disabled daughter, adult daughter, that I take care of, and so my daughter-in-law is going to be taking care of her as well, and that she's quite a challenge. And so I have to have everything ready for her as well. So it's not like you can just hop in a plane and go. You have to have everything in position. So that's what I've been doing. Been busy, and trying to make videos and stay on top of YouTube and stay on top of, contact with my friends and chats and everything else. And so it's been challenging. I wanted to make sure that I said something about the upcoming meetup. The meetup in my mind just goes blank thinking about all this stuff. The meetup is going to be in June 6th through the 8th at Home to Terra State Park in Missouri, and it is a blast. So if you haven't planned on coming and you'd like to come, please get a hold of Jan or Gail or myself. We'd love to have you come. They have places to camp, tent spots, camper spots, cabins. I don't know what's available still, but there's a big, beautiful lake. You can go fishing, you can go hiking. I mean, it's just a beautiful park. And we'll be doing karaoke and have a seat table and giveaways and just a lot of fun, and we'd love to have you there. Also, there's some great collaborations that are going on right now. It's a Hot Diggity Dog collaboration that's hosted by Peanut Life in the Piedmont, and I'm really excited for my video to come out because you're gonna love my topping for my hot dogs. Okay, so I'm just gonna say, we're gonna have a gym contest at the at the meetups, you want to be sure to bring 2 jars of jam, of your favorite jam, because we're going to have a jam contest. And so there's just a lot of things going on. We have a building your skills collaboration that is in June, and you actually get to build something and show your work and how you did it, and that's going to be a lot of fun. Weird containers growing 25, and that is going on. Gail, is that this month? That's this month, right? I was going to do that, but I just don't have time. I have weird containers, so I have a lot of weird containers. I even thought about planting an old toilet because I thought that would be cute out in the garden, you know, an old toilet in the garden and planting it. It's through August 22nd. Well, maybe I'll catch that. And then there is Tammy at Mountain Grandma's. She's hosting a my apothecary. Gosh, I'm going blank. Anyway, my apothecary collaboration, and I'm not sure what the title is on that exactly. Hi. And then there is, I know I'm missing something. If I'm missing something, please put it in the chat below so I can see what that is, and everybody else can see what that is. But hi, Stitching It Up. Welcome in, welcome in. Oh, the healthy snacks too. Yes, that's hosted by A Life in the Piedmont, Gail, Southern Living, and okay, I went blank on that. So somebody's got to tell me who the other host is. I think that is either Heather or Tammy, if I'm wrong or right. Ads. Tina. Okay. A Life in the Piedmont. But healthy snacks. Oh, you've got to check out all the healthy snacks videos on that collaboration. Go over to Gail Southern Living or Tina at Life in the Piedmont and check out the playlist, because there's some really, really, really good ones, and pretty excited. So now that I've done all the housekeeping stuff, I want to welcome Arielle in here tonight, because she is going to be my guinea pig tonight. And I'm thankful she's here. Hi, Arielle. How are you doing?
Oh, good. Thanks, Lynda. Hi, Lynda, and hi to everybody here. I've got you running in a couple of places. I've got you running on Lynda's channel here on this, and I've got you running on from my channel on the computer. So I'm seeing here Simply Jan, Broke but Bountifully Blessed, The Reluctant Vegan Knee,
Hi,
The
Wanda.
Gypsy and the Vanilla Dealer, Stitching It Up, Capturing Country Life, and I'll just see if I can scroll up and see who else is here. Garden State So-and-so, Robyn. I hope I haven't missed anybody. That's in my chat.
I just want to welcome everybody in, Wanda and everybody that I've already mentioned. I'm so grateful to have you here. And I'm going to start off by asking Arielle to tell us a little bit about herself and how her channel came about, first of all.
Okay, basically how this channel came about was I'd sort of got a job sort of pretty soon after I came here, or back here to Australia, and I only had that job a couple of months and I lost it. And for a long time I'd been wanting to do YouTube. I'd actually been watching YouTube right from the start, back when I was living in Thailand and teaching English as a foreign language. And actually YouTube was a resource that I often used just to get different songs, because part of our lessons in Thailand was to actually, or my part of the job was to actually have or teach the children how how to speak English from a native English speaker. So, just so that he sort of, Western syntax, Western
Yeah.
accents and all of that. And so sometimes we would sort of even have the kids sort of, sing, a fairly easy song, but a popular, well-known song in English that was sort of, clear to understand and easy to sing and that sort of thing. So I was using YouTube pretty much from when it started. And I'd always thought, oh, I'd love to make some videos and I wish I could do that. And I started in 2019 was when I'd sort of just after I'd lost that job and thought, right, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do YouTube. So I did.
That's awesome. That's awesome. How fast did you see your channel grow starting in 2019?
Very slowly. I think to get to the first 1,000, it might have been about a year and a half or something. It only really got to the first 1,000 during the lockdowns. When a lot of people started watching YouTube because there was nothing else to do. So that's sort of when it sort of got to the first 1,000, and then for a good year after that, or nearly a year, it actually sat at 1,500 and just sort of sat there.
Yeah. But it's really grown now.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're at,
Yeah.
aren't you at 30,000 or plus now?
No, nearly 24K now.
Nearly 24? Yeah,
Yeah.
you've grown, you grew pretty fast. Yeah, that's awesome. That's really awesome. So,
Yeah, thank you. I'll probably put on about 20,000, I think, since about trying to think when it was. It was last year since when it started to bump up a bit. I'd say probably about August or something. I started doing videos of going to the night markets and things like that, and they were something that people actually wanted to watch.
yeah, that's what I was talking to you about before. People love watching those things, and so that may be something that you can really get your channel to grow big doing those particular videos. Yeah. Jan said she started her channel in June of 2019.
Yeah, Jan and myself, same class, 2019, yeah.
I was 2008 or 2009, so I was like an old timer. But yeah. Well, why don't you tell us a little bit about your early childhood as you remember it? Whatever you're comfortable with telling.
Yep. Early childhood. Yeah, I'm going to skip over a few things because a lot of it is pretty painful. I was adopted, and once that sort of got me, they'd got their own child sort of pretty soon after, and I was sort of no longer really wanted. But of course, they were the sort of people that were always very worried about what others would think. So they'd always have to make themselves sort of, look good and look fine and upstanding. So basically, I grew up in a very cold environment, lots and lots and lots of abuse of all sorts of types. And they had a farm. Their family had something like about 2,000 acres. So I actually spent a lot of time, I would just take my little dog out for a picnic on the farm somewhere and spend a lot of time walking around the farm and observing animals on the farm and that sort of thing. And I spent a lot of time sort of as far away from them as possible, and sort of learnt a lot about, how, farms operate or animals operate or that sort of thing. And I found all that sort of thing very interesting. And I never thought that I would end up living in, one or two of the biggest cities in the world, which I have done.
And how did you talked about, when did you move away from Australia?
I moved away at 16 and a half. I'd made some contacts and, I was able to get out of there. Basically, his wife, she left him because she was being abused also. So she ended up leaving him when I was 16, and so I left sort of pretty soon after.
Where'd you go?
I went to Indonesia, Jakarta.
How fun.
And it was very lucky that I sort of got in with some good people sort of some years back, and they basically helped me to do it. So, got a passport and all that with their help, and I was off. And of course, at 16 and a half, he was busy with all the divorce and all that sort of thing too. So that sort of gave me a bit of breathing space to be able to do things on the sly, because he was more sort of, I'm talking about the man in the family, he was more sort of focused on all of that and, fighting her, because of course he was that scared of losing half of everything, as you could imagine.
Yeah. So why don't you share some of your experiences while you were in Indonesia and elsewhere in the world, because I know you have some fascinating tales to tell.
Well, I went to school for a while in Indonesia, and of course the people who I was staying with, and I'm sure that's probably why they helped me. Their son had a crush on me, and and of course, blonde hair, super exotic in Indonesia, and of course, they were Chinese, Indonesian, and very well-to-do. So I had lived a very different life to the one I'm living now, and we never got married. We just lived together, me and him, and he died 2007 in a car accident, and that's when I actually did some courses to learn how to teach English as a foreign language. But before that, we travelled the world, stayed in the best hotels and all sorts of things. And, I've still got this thing, which was a gift from him. And
nice.
I sort of could do with the money so I could sell it, but nobody wants to buy it anyways at the moment, so nobody's got the money. I'm sort of in two minds of selling it. Do I sell it and get the money, or do I hold on to it as a memory? But, very much a relic of my last life, if you know what I mean. And there's a lot of fakes getting around, obviously, but this is probably one of the few that a lot of you might see that's actually the real McCoy.
Oh, yeah, that's nice. That's nice. Well, it's kind of special that you have that. Yeah. What was he like? What was he like?
He was a very smart man, a gentleman, but very smart. And basically what we did was we went into import-export, buying cheap clothes from China. This is before the days of eBay and Shine and Temu and Amazon and all of that. That sort of business would not work now.
Yeah.
And so that's basically what we did. I sort of just handled like the design of the shop and all of that, and he sort of handled all the clever stuff like the financials and, all that sort of stuff. But basically when he died and I still had a lot of money, but the financial markets 2008, we all know what happened, and basically lost nearly everything. And of course, you're talking about going from a champagne lifestyle to a rainwater lifestyle, so very, very different. So I learned how to teach English as a foreign language in Indonesia. And of course, there wasn't that many jobs with that. So I went to Malaysia and Kuala Lumpur. I was about 9 months there. And then after that, I went to Thailand and many years in Thailand before some Thai floods and when there was no work. I can speak Thai very little, but I can't read the script. Thai is very, very difficult.
Impressive, That's impressive.
Yeah,
so do you
Thai
speak?
Is very, very difficult. Yeah, I speak Indonesian and Malay. Aku bisa bicara bahasa Indonesia dan bahasa Melayu. Aku tinggal di Jakarta 18 tahun. What I said was I speak Indonesian and Malay, and I lived in Jakarta 18 years.
Wow. That's impressive, Arielle. That really is impressive.
Thanks, but I've forgotten so much, because I don't use it anymore. And it's one of those things, use it or lose it. And I'm sort of losing a lot of it. It would probably come back within, a couple of months or a couple of weeks or whatever. If I was
I think it's all in your head still. It's just, it's you've got to be able to pull it out of the right filing cabinets.
But I'd have to be immersed in it all.
Yeah.
I guess, and that's interesting. Your dad served in Thailand in the Air Force. Yeah, that's interesting. I just saw on Lynda's screen there, and I'm not sort of seeing everything that's on my computer screen because it's pretty hard to see my chat. I need to put my glasses on and then just sort of right up to my computer to see it.
Anne says that trials make us stronger. I mean, they truly do make us stronger, Yeah. And even though things can be difficult and some trials seem like they go for years and years and years and years and years, you do come out stronger. There's no doubt about it. And if you allow yourself to, some people not necessarily, but most people do come out stronger. So
yeah, it's sort of the trials at the moment. It's a never-ending story. And it's basically been a real trial since for a while when everything sort of went belly up in 2008. That was a real trial, and then again a real trial from just before I came to Australia and until now.
Yeah.
Sort of a never-ending story, and I don't even know if it's made me stronger or if I've survived because I'm strong enough. Because of course, my life has been nothing but trials right from day one.
Yeah. Why don't you, if you feel comfortable sharing why you want so bad to get back to the United States and why the United States?
Well, I love America, when I've been in America, but also my actual real blood is American, not Australian. I think I might have showed you that.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't put it on here, but that death notice is actually It's either my blood uncle or great uncle by blood. That death notice that I'd sent through to you, Lynda, and a few others. But yeah, my blood is actually American, and because I'm adopted, all that was taken from me. For those who don't know,
How did you end up being adopted by an Australian family?
well, I was actually born in Melbourne, and a lot of what happened back then in the day, we're talking about, I hate to say it, 1969, 1970. I was born 10 weeks premature, the end of October 1969, but I should have actually been born in, mid to late January if things went right. But back then, and this is the theory I was given by the adoption people, there's actually like an agency in Australia for adopted people and an agency in this state, Victoria, for adopted people to actually get their adoption records. And their actual theory is with what was written by the social workers and everything was the woman that's actually listed on my birth certificate is not my actual mother, but she's my aunt.
Oh.
And that's sort of the theory they've got. And that her niece actually got into trouble at like a very young age, and so they sent her to the country, sent her to Australia, be as far away as possible from the scandal. And the family itself has never wanted to contact me or even try. And I was never sort of allowed to know anything. And even now I'm in contact, and I haven't spoken to her for like a couple of years now, a cousin, and she did tell me a couple of things, but things like photos and that she didn't have, which is very unusual. And she said, oh, well, I could get some from some of the older, people in the family, but they're too old and don't want to bother them with all that. And so, it's very much like I was the dirty little secret. And
I think though, honestly, every family has that. Because it was pretty prominent. I know there's one of those in my family as well, not in my immediate family, but in my mother's, there's some secrets like that, and it's like, I think with the onset of all of the, these DNA tester kits, with Ancestry.com and 23andMe and so forth, I think a lot of families are finding that out.
Yeah, and they're not liking it. Yes,
most families would have just taken that information to the grave because they, it was not that particular generation and generations prior. They just did not talk about stuff like that, and they hid it, and they, so it was pretty common. And I totally agree with Jan. She says, I see your story as one of victory, Ariella.
And thank you, Jan. Yes, I'm just seeing it on Lynda's screen there. And you from outside probably see more than what I do from being inside the story.
So there's, and I know have you lived in the United States before?
Just visited, been, stints of like 1 or 2 months, and that's it, sort of thing. And I absolutely loved it and loved everything about America. And some of my earliest memories and they're probably like pre-womb memory, you know, in the womb memories is American voices and American accents. It's sort of all I sort of heard, and then hearing Australian accents, it's always sort of really grated on me, the way they speak here. It's really grated on me, and it just sort of feels wrong, sounds wrong, smells wrong, everything's wrong about it. And, you know, like where I grew up, it felt
So
wrong.
you
It
just
smelled
have
wrong.
this innate desire that's just there that you just know sense. Yeah.
Yeah, just to get back among my people. And, you know, like this uncle, his death notice, and that's obviously where he lived, Vermont, New England. And there's something about New England that really draws me. You know, the northeast of America really draws me.
It's interesting because, you know, I'll tell you, I was drawn to this region as well. And then come to find out my dad's family in this region. I didn't even know.
Wow.
In Kentucky. You know, I mean, I knew he was from Oklahoma, but I never had a clue that he had family in Kentucky. So it's interesting. Yeah, you kind of just.
Yeah, I think there's a lot to that. That people just have genetic memories. I think there's an awful lot to that.
I mean, it's very possible. Very possible. I like a lot of animals do. You know, I mean, they do. So.
Yeah, well, animal instincts are that. That's all genetic memories if you really think about it.
It really is. It really is.
And, you know, talking about what Jan sort of said earlier, and just keep on persevering. I could have very easily, you know, ended up, you know, like a lot of people do that have had traumatic childhoods, you know, using too much alcohol and drugs and all sorts of things. I used to drink an awful lot and get drunk a lot and go clubbing a lot until I was about 25, I guess. And I'd actually make myself sick drinking it. And, you know, you'd have the first drink because you're going out just to try and forget things, and it'd be wanting to come up. And, you know, just forcing myself to drink the stuff and not really liking the smell of pure alcohol or stale beer or anything, or the clubs, but still forcing myself to do it. And I'd sort of decided, we're talking about 20 years ago, just not to do it anymore. And so, you know, I can have a bottle of something around here and it sort of stays untouched or, you know, half drank or something for months.
Yeah, I can go.
When I was living in the other place.
It can go that direction for sure. You know, if you're, it really depends on the person. I think some people are just really stubborn and they say to themselves, you know, I'm not going to be a statistic regardless of how difficult my childhood's been. I'm not going to be that statistic. And I think some people are just driven by that I'm going to put my foot down and I'm going to fight through it. And, you know, and then there's others that just succumb to it. And so it's,
I think some people also they get trapped by it very early. Yeah, they get trapped by it very early because they have a genetic you know, predisposition to alcoholism or what have you as well. And luckily,
Exactly.
I obviously didn't have that. It was more just emotional, and then I just decided I don't really like
Hi,
doing this. I
Susanna.
don't really
Thank you for
like
coming in.
alcohol that much.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you know, I just
And
sort of
what
stopped.
a lot of people don't realize, many of you know, I used to be a drug and alcohol counselor, and I was actually, when I retired, I was over 5 different drug and alcohol programs that I oversaw. And I saw a lot of women with children and homeless, and worked a lot with them and their addictions. But what people don't understand is when you have somebody that's predisposed to alcoholism or drug addiction, they have those genetic markers that when they take that first drink under particular circumstances, it becomes like they're playing Russian roulette. Because if you take a young man, say you've got a 17-year-old boy who lost his mom, and he's grieving, and his friend pulls up, and his friend's 21, and he said, look, I have, come with me, I've just got the right thing that's going to get you out of this grief and help you out. And he takes them to some party, and he gives them something to drink, and then all of a sudden he's feeling better. So in his brain, it's registering, this makes me feel better. When I feel this way, if I drink this, I'll feel this way. And so it's really, it's so dangerous if you have a history of alcoholism or addiction in your family, because most likely you carry that genetic marker. And when those circumstances happen like that, the next time he feels sad, guess what he's going to do? He's going to reach for a drink. The next time he feels like that, he's going to reach for what made him feel good, whether it was alcohol, drugs, whatever it was. And so it just perpetuates on down the road, and the addiction grows and grows and grows and gets out of control, and so does the young man, and it's not, it's sad. And I've seen it happen with my grandson, and you see it happen a lot with young folks. And so, yeah. So you are quite amazing that you were able to go through what you went through and did not fall into that, because
I think Linda's just froze up here. I think what often happens too, and for me, that's how it was. Oh, yes. For me, that's how it was. It didn't even necessarily make me feel that much better, but it made me forget. And I think many sort of do those things, not even because they're feeling better, but because they're forgetting or able to forget for a little while the reason why they're actually doing whatever they're doing.
Exactly. So what, if you had some fond childhood memories at all, what were some of those?
Well, the fond childhood memories were of my little dog and the cats and that sort of thing. And, seeing the animals, seeing the baby calves, seeing the baby lambs, the baby goats, the baby chicks, the baby ducklings, things like that. That's all, the fond memories that I had, seeing the baby animals. And, as I get older, I'm actually missing being in in the countryside, and I'm missing seeing real forests. I always had a real dislike of eucalyptus and the smell of eucalyptus, and that was sort of intensified in 2020, and we all know why that was. But I'd always had a dislike of that, and a real love of the smell of pine forests, and you know, the smell of like maples, and you know, all the iconic
wonderful
New England
nature
trees.
smells. Yeah. I mean, it must have been. I love being out in the country, and to have that many acres, just you can stay by yourself most of the time. You know, yeah, that's awesome. Jan says, "I love the egg."
Yeah.
How you guys say that? In Australia.
I love the A, yeah. Well, you know, the funny thing is people here ask, or, you know, where exactly am I from? Because I don't speak like any Australians.
Yeah, that's funny though. So, where do you see the next 5 years for your channel and yourself?
Oh, the next 5 years. That's a difficult one. I don't really know.
Where would you like to see?
What would I like to see might be the better question. I mean, what I would like to see is my channel, you know, growing even more and more, being well over 100K. I don't have any kids and I don't have any family, so YouTube and my channel is actually, I guess you could say, is my child and is my family. And I would love to see myself being based somewhere in the New England area, and probably filming lots of similar sort of things to what I film now, but you know, things such as like festivals and Amish stores, and you know, markets and street food or whatever, but all around America.
Yeah.
And, you know, maybe a couple of trips to some other countries, you know, back to Asia to visit, back to Europe to visit, that sort of thing. But only sort of very occasionally, more just doing America and documenting all the wonderful things, you know, the mom and pop stores, the festivals, the county fairs, you know, all those wonderful things.
Yeah. Jen said she loved the animals. It wasn't the A. Okay. It was the animals.
I was wondering about the A, and I thought, oh yeah, well, I might as well try and answer that if I can, but you know, it might be very possible.
Yeah.
I guess I just saw what Anne said. I want to give you a big hug. We all go through troubles. Me too. Yeah, so true. We all go through troubles, and you know, some of us go through more than others, and there's probably some that are going through huge troubles and you wouldn't know it.
Yeah.
If you looked at them too.
Yeah, it's true. You know, and that's why I like this series on Wednesday, is because you get a chance to know the channel better, the person behind the channel better, because people don't know us, you know. I mean, they think they know us, but they really don't know us, unless, you know, except for your close friends, of course. But
yeah,
the viewers, they only know what we post, and so they can leave mean and nasty comments because they have no clue who we are. You know, I get it. I understand it, but sometimes it's just nicer and I've always believed that if you let your viewers get to know you a little bit. Let them get to know who you are and what you're about. Then they're going to fall in love with you, and they're going to become loyal friends as well as viewers. And and be yourself. Be yourself. You know,
that's a big reason. Oh, sorry, Lynda. That's a big reason why I still sort of do live streams 1 or 2 times per week, and probably everybody who does live streams are probably doing it for a similar reason. It's more sort of the raw individual and unfiltered and what have you.
not edited, and all this fancy stuff.
Yeah, not all the fancy editing and things.
Yeah.
Which I'd probably do some fancy editing, I guess you could say, in some of my
I got my son to do it now. I'm excited about that. And he knows some fancy stuff.
I saw some fancy stuff in your newest video, Lynda. I haven't had a chance to comment yet.
You went to college for that, so it's really fun.
You come to video and you just sort of, so you had fun with that one. And I
on the ground, it's really coming up, I'm looking in my nose. I'm cracking up all the time. He's doing all this stuff. I said, I'm just going to be myself. Oh, well.
Basically, what I do is when an alert jumps up, if I sort of see the alert, because I might be out or doing something or what have you, I will always save the alert to my watch later list. And I don't watch actual TV or Netflix or anything. I just watch YouTube, and I pay the premium for that reason, because I'd never get through everything if I had to, sit for a lot of ads.
Get through everything. I was like, I know.
But I'm watching everybody's videos. I run my watch later list of an evening, and sometimes it might be 2 or 3 times before I get to comment, because I'm watching it on a TV. And anybody who's tried to do so, you cannot comment on a TV.
You cannot comment. You cannot comment on the TV. I wish I could. I wish I had could just do voice text on TV. That'd be cool.
Well, Google TV, I've got, the Google TV stick or thingy, does actually allow you to do that, but doesn't work very well, the voice to text. So, you try to do it, you just sort of, because I sometimes use it to search something on YouTube, and I just sort of, it comes up with a lot of
It might be dangerous too when you're leaving a comment.
Oh, yes, it would be dangerous when you're leaving a comment,
Yeah. I can imagine. I've seen some voice to text I don't understand at all.
Yeah, voice to text doesn't work very well.
Yeah, I probably sent lots of them too. Yeah, it's hilarious.
Just have a look here to see if anybody sort of said anything on here.
Comments.
Yeah.
Glad you made it back, Wanda.
Nothing new there, only except Elisa stitching it up has had to leave, and she said bye. So bye to you, Elisa.
Yeah. Oh, well. Detective work for sure, Jan says. I'm trying to decipher voice to text.
Yes. A bit of a minefield, isn't it? Voice to text, yeah.
Yeah. No, listen, tell everybody what your plans are and how they can support you.
Well, I'd I mean, if they're interested, you know, PayPal or that sort of thing, or supers are all most welcome and very, very appreciated. And I've actually, that I put in every description, I've got a list of people tagged, but the tag doesn't always work some, you know, at times from YouTube. Thanking people, and you know, the list of everybody that I put in every video description, and even like the same as what's in the description on this live stream, they're actually people who have helped me. You know, I've just said thank you, but I've listed their names. Another way that you could help me is, you know, which really does help, sharing out my videos and my channel, and you know,
Yeah,
you're
so
not
everybody can do that. You know,
subscribing.
if you can't help financially, you can definitely go over to her channel, watch her videos, share them out, help her channel to grow that way. And yeah, because I'm going to tell you, there's a lot of companies that work with travel channels and tourist channels, and there's a YouTube channel called Growing Voyagers. I believe that's the name of it. You should check that out because they do classes. They have a class that they offer. I don't know if it's, you know, they probably have a link in their channel page. And they show you how you can fly to another country for like $100. Okay. So it's really, they have some good classes and they do it all the time. They fly their family back and forth from, I think they live in the Italian Alps in a little village in the mountains in Italy, and they fly back and forth for like $100.
Wow.
Yeah. And they just went down to, I think they were in Singapore and somewhere down there, and they did their whole vacation for $200, family, hotel, everything. And so they really have some good advice, and they're a neat channel. You'll like the channel itself. I have to give them a shout out. They don't even know me from Adam, but I've watched them for years. And I believe that's the name of their channel. I'm terrible with names, but it's called, I believe it's called Growing Voyagers. And yeah, so I would check that out and check out. I'll try to find their channel and text you that, you know, their channel. And because there's a lot of ways that you could get here, you know, not inexpensively. Yeah. Jen wants to know where you would move to if you moved to America.
Yeah, I sort of I saw that on your screen, Lynda. I thought, yeah, I better get to answering that one. Basically, for me, I think it would have to be somewhere in the New England area, or if not there, somewhere with some elevation, like in the Appalachian Mountains, something like that, because I don't do well in the heat, and since coming here, my skin has really suffered from the sun, and I need to get out of the burning sun. And as I get older, I sort of handle the heat less and less.
Yeah. Well, I just found it. It's called Raising Voyagers. Excuse me, at Raising Voyagers.
Oh, yep.
And I am texting it to you right now.
Oh, great, thanks.
And be sure to go over there and check that out because, I think you'll find a lot of good information. Most of it's about their building their house, you know, but check out their travel playlists and stuff.
It's just come through. You know, my watch has given the alert. My phone's, so that's just come through. I have my phone. I'm on a plan. I'm not prepaid or anything. I'm on a plan, and so part of my plan, I have a huge amount of internet on my mobile plan, of course, unlimited internet. But I also have unlimited calling and messaging to USA as part of my plan. So I do have a number of you all on my phone that I can sort of talk to and message. And, if you've got a pay to talk to Australia, just send me a message and I'll call you sort of thing. It's fine because it doesn't cost me anything. And, I go days living here.
Americans.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. I go absolutely days here in this place if I'm not going out to the stores to buy something without talking to anybody. Because, the people here, most of them, this location where I'm living, most of them I just don't relate to at all. They're fighting, they're arguing all the time. They're getting drunk. They're using all sorts of substances. And
Jan wants to know if she can call you.
yes,
Will that,
yes, absolutely.
And that won't count as an overseas call?
If she calls me, she'd have to have a look at what her phone plan is, whether it allows.
Okay, but if you call her,
If Jan messages me and I directly ring her back, call her back, no problem. It doesn't impact my phone bill at all. It's all covered.
And it won't impact her phone bill either that way.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, wonderful.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you, Wanda. Well, I want to say thank you for everybody who came in tonight. And I especially want to thank you, Arielle, for coming on and being such a lovely guest tonight. And be sure to check out her channel. If you haven't hit the thumbs up button, please go hit the thumbs up button. If you haven't commented and you're in here, please leave a little comment. And please turn on the notification bell on both my channel and Arielle's channel. It really helps the algorithms because then you'll get notifications of when we are doing videos and having lives and shorts and everything else. And it really does help. The other thing is I want you to be sure to go over to Simply Jan Homestead's channel and click on the playlist for the meetup and watch the videos there. Jennifer, thank you as always for making sure everyone still hits the thumbs up button. We appreciate you coming in. We appreciate everybody coming in. And thank you, Penny, for coming. And you will hear from me soon. Just have to get things squared away. And before we go, no way, two of my favorite channels. Another time, Arielle, I swear you got art soon. From Mickey, Critter Creek. Well, Mickey, I'm so glad you're here and we love you. You know, we all love you to pieces. Be sure to go check out Mickey's channel and Jennifer's channel and everybody else that's in here. Just make sure you're subscribed to all of the people in the chats because they're all great people and you know, they'll support you 100%. Thank you, Robyn. So I want to say thank you again. You're all awesome. And thank you, Arielle. And I'm sure I'll be talking to you this week. And you have a great evening.
Yeah, thank you so much, Lynda. And you know, if you do watch my videos, that's so helpful and sharing them out because my channel is fully monetized. So whatever ad revenue and that does come to me.
Help her out. And you guys have a great night.
ago. To live life away from it all, to have some sheep, maybe a cow or two, with cats and dogs and goats and an occasional moon. With our love for God, we can't go wrong. Our love can only continue to grow strong. Doesn't matter the difficult roads, it's true. For we have each other, and love will carry us through. We came from another time, a time when dreams were bold. Another time when values took hold. You couldn't give up hope, for it was always there. Another time we fair to do.
Say hi. Hi. Wave.
We came from another time, a time when dreams were bold. Another time when values took hold. You couldn't give up hope, for it was always there. Another time we fared. Hold. You couldn't give up hope, for it was always there. Another time we fared.
Put the Todd in the tent with me and the kids. And the feed. I'm at it again.